there wasn't any storytelling behind it. And I think storytelling does matter when you have individuals. You look at Formula One and the Starting Five series that's on Netflix. Like you put storylines next to people, it does wonders for it. And the NBA has so much more they could do.
And they have so much history. And I feel like they don't do, maybe save for like the Celtics Lakers rivalry, but I feel like even in the playoffs, there's so much opportunity to tell the story of, why do the Pacers and the Knicks hate each other? Why is this such a, because it's not a rivalry that you think of, when you're asked like, hey, name the, we keep saying rivalry. It does sound a little weird now. You mentioned it. But if you think about the biggest rivalries in the NBA, like over the course of NBA history, right? I don't think that's one that you would name, right? Even like Heat Knicks, maybe going back to the 90s, everybody seems to have a rivalry with the Knicks. But, some of the newer ones like, Warriors Rockets. Why do the Warriors and Rockets hate each other? Why do Rockets fans hate the Warriors so much? And I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity, especially in like the pregame coverage. Like, why didn't they lean into some of that storytelling of, hey, let's take you back, 20, 30 years to the Pat Riley Knicks or the Pat Riley Heat or whatever it is.
100% agree. I think that there's a lot of low-hanging fruit there to take. The game is giving it to you, and we're getting
Yes.
clips of what happened the game before. We just saw that game. That's cool. You could do that, but tell a story. Make it and make us want to hear it. Find a way to drop the trailer, right? Drop a trailer online and go, here's Warriors Rockets is starting. Here's the history going back to 2015. Tell that. It was the MVP race between Steph and Harden, and they played in the finals like almost every year until 2019. Tell that story. Drop a promo and tell people to watch Reggie Miller versus the Knicks. Ah!
Yeah, it seems so obvious. And the NFL, I mean, again, we keep talking about the NFL, but they're kind of the gold standard where, sure, maybe in the regular season, you don't have as much time to build up to like a big Saturday night game because they just played on Thursday or Friday. But in the playoffs, you have at least a week and a half. You have at least 4 games to build up some of this history and context behind it. And it seems like such a layup, to use the basketball term, but it just they just keep missing it. And maybe it's like I wonder if it's the league trying to like force you to look forward instead of looking back for whatever reason. I mean, they have 70 plus years of history that they could lean on, but it feels like instead, like maybe in general, this is kind of a coverage problem where they're constantly talking about what's next. Where is Giannis going to end up in a year? Where is, even during the finals, like they're leading off, NBA Live or whatever the show is, and they're leading off coverage with Kevin Durant trade rumors instead of, let's break down what just happened. Let's see, how is SGA going to overcome, XYZ. How is Halliburton going to overcome, work around his calf strain? I feel like most of the talk is around, potential trades or, trades that are being rumored. Is that I mean, why are they focusing so hard on, the future and these rumors versus what's happening right now?
There seems to be some sort of alignment in sports with individuals that the transaction is very fascinating. It is, but it's temporary and it's only in short circuits and it only happens in these very small windows. Soccer is a great example of this because, to be honest with you, there is a funny parallel where in soccer they do this a lot where they talk about the transaction, is Neymar leaving, is Gareth Bale leaving, etc. The transfer window's coming up in January. If they're going to leave in January, they're going to leave in the summer, which is a little unique to soccer where they have these two massive windows where anything goes, anyone can be bought out of their contract and sent to a new team. It is similar in this sense, and this is a coverage decision, but I don't think Americans are buying it. I don't think Americans want to hear this stuff for prolonged periods of time. They're not really like positioning interesting personalities. We're getting hot takes, and this transaction thing is interesting, but it's a problem when it's more interesting than the game. I know there's a shock value to it when something big happens. It should not be happening the morning of Game 7. For those not maybe on the audio side, I almost ripped my own face off. That game seven, by the way, just to go back to ratings, did almost 20 million as the highest rated NBA Finals because it took a game seven to do it. We're a little more removed from the politics of the bubble and things like that. I do not for a second buy that the idea of, if they drop this the morning of, maybe more people will see this and go, I'm going to watch basketball tonight. That these things are not connected. And I get that the draft is, as of this recording today, it's Wednesday. This could have waited another day, or at least another or 2 days. There's got to be a gag order on either don't make the draft that close
Mm, yeah.
or do not allow for transactions to be made during the freaking postseason.